So we'll look at the slide in a second of some ideas for jobs or roles that you can give students. But by giving everyone a task or a job in the team, it's going to ensure that one, the team is working together collaboratively, but also that everyone has a item or thing that they're responsible for. And so there's very little room for them to kind of slip up and again get off task. So the third thing is to display all of this information to your class as the team plays. So in your templates, you have this template here. I made you two options. You can customize fonts, backgrounds, whatever you want. But what is on this slide is basically all the information that you're going to want to make sure you are showing students. So the first section is the player roles or jobs. So these are the 4 jobs that I give each team. Again, if you have 5 students or 3 students per team, you will adjust this. Another thing to consider is if you are teaching a very much younger grade, or maybe you teach something that's not going to require like calculators, for example, maybe you're an ELA teacher or a history teacher, you may have different jobs. But these are the 4 jobs or roles that I use that pretty much work with most things. So in the teams, and this is something that I use since the beginning of the year, my students have a number within their team. So if someone's a 1, 2, 3, 4, and they always have a job to do. So for Tumbling Towers, the number 1s are going to be the question presenters. They are the person that after someone pulls a block, they're going to read the question to their team and make sure that everyone was able to see it, hear it, and has whatever is needed to be noted down on their paper. So number 1 is the question presenter. Number 2 job usually alternates for me depending on what we're working on. Sometimes they're what I call the referee. They're the person who pretty much keeps the whole team on task. They also are making sure that everyone's following the rules when they pull a tower block out of the tower. You don't have to do this. Again, the Tumbling Towers blocks are super fun because they're tiny baby Jengas, but I pretty much play the way I know how to play Jenga, which is they use one hand and they can't pull from the top 2 layers of the tower. So this person is making sure that those rules are being followed. If we are working on a skill that requires a calculator or they're allowed to use a calculator, then this job changes to calculator, which means that anytime their team has all their work and they're ready to type something into a calculator, this person grabs the calculator, types it in, and lets the team know what the result was. So again, you will adjust as needed, but number 2's role for me usually changes. Number 3 is the tower builder. So this is where we, again, want to be super, super clear and make sure that especially this person in each team understands that their job is to quickly rebuild that tower and get their team working again. I give a time constraint. I usually tell them within a minute and a half, your team should be back to working and answering questions. So number 3 is the tower builder. And then number 4 is the answer key checker. So this person is the person who has permission to turn the answer key face up. After they finish a question, check if their team is right. If their team is right, then they're going to say, okay, let's do the next one, next person pull. If they're incorrect, then they're going to say something like, we got the question wrong, so let's go figure out what our mistake was. So those are player roles that are pretty interchangeable with most subjects or grade levels.